Today, Jorge Paez, the crown prince of boxing, the flashiest ring performer since Muhammad Ali, will face his toughest test to date. Paez will challenge the hard-punching, battle-tested Tony the Tiger Lopez. Lopez will defend his IBF junior lightweight title on his home turf, known as the Tiger's Den, in the capital of California, Sacramento. We welcome you to Arco Arena, the home of the Sacramento Kings of the NBA. But this afternoon, the home team is Tony Lopez. A crowd of upwards of 15,000 has turned out, and it will be bedlam here later on. Hi, everybody. I'm Marv Albert, and later on I'll be joined by the fight doctor, Ferdy Pacheco, as we close in on a boxing doubleheader. Now, the main event, a matchup of champions with the IBF junior lightweight crown of Tony Lopez at stake against IBF featherweight champion Jorge Paez, the one-time circus acrobat and clown. And leading up to the title fight, we'll present a scheduled 10-round featherweight bout featuring a hot prospect, a 5'10" featherweight by the name of Rafael Ruelas. His record 20-0 and 17 is 62-year-old Will Edgington, who has spent over 40 years in boxing, working with dozens of Northern California boxers, including ex-WBC junior lightweight champion Bobby Chacon and the current IBF 140-pound champ Tony Lopez. Edgington, who has spent time as a prisoner in nearby Folsom Prison, is now trying to give back something to society by coaching and coordinating the boxing program at Folsom Prison. Bob Trumpy has the story.
I went to San Quentin on my 18th birthday. Two officers from Preston took me, and when I stepped through that gate and I turned to see where they were gone, man, and all of a sudden it's a different world.
It's been 30 years since the guards in the watchtowers have seen Will Edgington roam the grounds at Folsom Prison. But Will remembers his time spent here as clearly as the day they locked him up. Now Edgington has a new life, training fighters like Tony Lopez. But he knows better than anyone how the system can grab hold of your life, making you not just an inmate, but a prisoner of the system.
You become institutionalized. You're always locked up. I mean, you get out, all your buddies are locked up. I mean, you come back, hey, what's going on? Hey, that's all you think about, seeing your buddies. And you don't realize that what you're doing to yourself, And it's so easy to get in that rut when you become you grow up in the system, in reform school, then you go to prison. It's all you know about, so you don't feel real funny when you get busted.
Many of the inmates here are cut up in the system. Folsom is maximum security. 30% of the 7,000 inmates have life sentences, 6% without the hope of parole. So a subculture is born. Work programs, study programs, and the athletics occupy the 10 hours the prisoners spend outside their cells each day.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
The boxing program was started to help channel the inmates' energies in a more productive and positive way. So after 30 years away from the stone walls of Folsom Prison, Edgington now volunteers to step through the lock gates. Edgington began the boxing program in 1987. A short time ago in the prison life of most of the inmates here, the boxing program could be looked at as a contradiction in a place like Folsom. But boxing coordinator Benny Garza sees it another way.
This is the most positive thing that's going on here in this yard. This boxing program has always been. This prison has always been, it has a history for its violence, but from that red light on here, we're all brothers.
At 23 and with a life sentence, Johnny Rodriguez has found hope in the program.
The reason I think it's good is because, it keeps a lot of guys, gets a lot of guys help to get the tension out, and some guys, they just, don't have nothing, and that's, a little something for them, to keep them up.
If we didn't have this program, a lot of us wouldn't be doing nothing, sitting around getting in trouble. So it gives us a chance to run and vent our frustrations out in the ring instead of getting in trouble with staff or other inmates.
Most of the inmates, I think they like to have something to preoccupy their time, because this is a place where there's a lot of time.
inmates have another role model, former boxer Pete Ranzani. He's now a guard at Folsom Prison.
Well, I think that it channels a lot of their destructive energy, and the interracial thing, they're not so much violence outside the ring. If they box and they get to know each other and they get to fight, once they start working with each other and showing their desire and their courage, it's going to break down the racial problems here, I think.
But the real hero is Will Edgington. He's proof to the inmates that there is a way to go beyond the system.
All right, time, Joe. I'd like to have you out in the street, man. I could use you downtown, man. I hope that in seeing that I stayed out and I was able to straighten my life out, they can have that goal too. And some of it won't happen, some it might. And it's just a few. If I can help just a few get out and stay out, that's a dream for me.
And we are closing in on fight time with IBF junior lightweight champion Tony Lopez getting set to go against the IBF featherweight champion Jorge Paez. It is Lopez's title that is at stake. Ferdy, how do you break it down?
Well, for Jorge Paez, he must get in the middle of the ring and stay off the ropes. That's what cost him in the Dorsey fights. He must not fall behind early. He has that bad habit of blowing the first few rounds. And as far as Lopez is concerned, he has got to concentrate on a hard body track, driving Paez to the ropes, and avoid head and elbows of Paez, which will break up his tender face. And above all, don't pay attention to the clowning of Paez.
Break up his tender face, huh? Well, this is a house of passion for Tony Lopez, the pride of Sacramento. He is extremely well liked in the city, a city looking to enhance its image as a center of big-time sports attractions. In fact, the future site of a 48,000-seat multi-purpose stadium will eventually be alongside Arco Arena, the current home of Sacramento's most popular sports franchise.
Tony the Tiger Lopez.
Tony Lopez is a hero to Sacramento. In a town that's begging for national respect, Tony Lopez is our link to other cities who have major sports. Tony Lopez is Sacramento's major league sport.
Major League indeed. Today's bout has become the largest grossing fight in California history.
You've got somebody that is very popular on TV. Everybody knows Jorge Paez. You've got the local kid who's made his strides on television. And above that, you have the perfect ingredient, a Mexican-American against a Mexican from Mexico. And there is no rivalry as great as that.
The flashy native Mexican Jorge Paez against the Mexican-American hometown hero, Tony Lopez. This fight has sold itself.
Even the casual fan knows that Tony's fighting Jorge Paez, the guy with the funny stuff in his hair and the rhinestones on his trunks, so they're coming out.
In fact, the city's love affair with Tony Lopez might be a bit too enthusiastic. Here's how the fans at Arco Arena responded after Lopez lost his title to John Molina last October.
I've been to places where they're a lot worse. Nobody went to jail, no one went to the hospital. I don't think they were mad because I lost the title. You know, I gave it all I had and they knew it. I think they were mad because of the way the fight was stopped.
Lopez's critics repeatedly point out that he rarely accepts fights away from Sacramento. They say the home court advantage he gains is unfair.
People can say whatever they want to say or write whatever they want to write, because it's true. I don't want to leave Sacramento. And then fans start chanting my name. I got over 10,000 people with me in that ring. From 1 year of age to 200 years old. If they can scream, I can hear them. And if I can hear them, I'm going to fight harder.
Lopez did, however, fight away from home in his quest to recapture the title against the man he lost to, John Molina. He succeeded in dramatic fashion.
Final seconds of the round, down he goes.
So now back home with the championship, Tony Lopez feverishly prepares for the one-time circus clown and acrobat.
When he starts playing and clowning, he's going to pay for it. I'm going to hit him. I'm going to hit him hard. I own the IBF junior lightweight title. I own it. I'm not borrowing it, and I'm not going to let it go. I own it. I bought it. I paid for it. It's mine.
Well, the question is, can the product of the circus tame Tony the Tiger Lopez. Freddie, that line took hours to write. I may use it again later on. When we come back, we'll visit with Jorge Paez, IBF featherweight champ and undisputed Clown Prince. And now he comes to Sacramento to take on hometown favorite Tony Lopez and cancels his workout to be with his people.
Every camp train different way. Only I can see at this time, Jorge, there's no problem making a way. Life for him is fun. And when he sees his people, he really enjoys it. It's like a vitamins for him.
Harto que llego y me dicen puro Chicane, Homeboy, Tijuana, que pues a uno lo anima más.
He said, you know, like I told you before, you know, he enjoyed the life, and the special thing is going to be in the park right now. He can go see the babies. Babies, he calling the girls.
So off he went to the park. And while Tony Lopez worked out, Jorge Paez worked out. Slight difference in styles.
Here the people say, we want Tony, we want Paez.
His supporters seem to spring up from everywhere. No one was safe from Jorge's charm, not even the mayor.
Paez is going to be good for a good show. You know, he's going to give us a good show. But Tony's going to win the fight.
Y a la señora que va a apostar en contra de ella, que le mando un besote.
And he's sending the keys to the mayor.
And here comes the IBF featherweight champion, Jorge Paez. Last fight back in July in Las Vegas, that 12-round draw in the rematch against Troy Dorsey. And Freddie, of most importance, in fact, we had this explained to us by his personal physician, Dr. Felipe Corona. He said the sun is involved in Paez's haircut. He said Mexicali is the land of the sun. The sun is the biggest star in the universe, and Paez is the biggest star in boxing. So that is why he has the impression of the sun on his head. And here comes Tony Lopez. The Eye of the Tiger. A standing ovation here at Arco for Sacramento's Tony Lopez. For the IBF Junior lightweight crown, Paez and Lopez coming up.
We've placed these two similar 4x4s in this swamp to see if there's any real difference. Sure, they both have lots of luggage space, plenty of room.
Crowd of better than 15,000 here in Sacramento. It is the biggest fight to take place in the state of California in terms of gate receipts, passing by the previous high, Muhammad Ali, Ken Norton at the LA Forum in September of '73. We're set for the introductions. Let's go to the ring. Here's Jim Hall.
For the IBF Junior Lightweight Championship of the World, our referee for this contest is Robert Bird. Introducing first the challenger in the red corner. This young man is wearing the white trunks with the red and green trim. He weighs 130 pounds. He's from Mexicali, Mexico, with a record of 35 wins, 2 losses, 3 draws, with 25 wins by knockout. He is the IBF featherweight champion of the world. Here's Jorge Maromero Paez. And now, fighting out of the blue corner, this young man is wearing the tiger trunks. He weighs 129 3/4 pounds. He's from Sacramento, California, with a record of 35 wins, 2 losses, with 24 wins by knockout. Here's the IBF Junior Lightweight Champion of the World, Tony the Tiger Lopez.
Referee Robert Byrd out of Los Angeles calling the 2 fighters together. As we check out the tail of the tape, Lopez with the 1-inch height advantage, Paez with a couple of inches in reach. Robert Byrd has handled 5 world title fights, including the second meeting between Lopez and Rocky Lockridge. It should also be pointed out that he is a commander with the California State Police. The judges, Larry Lazadia of Los Angeles, Dave Nelson Jr. out of San Jose, California, and Rudy Ortega from San Francisco. It is scheduled for 12. And we are underway. Both Lopez and Paez in the past have been slow starters. Both have had weight problems in the past.
Now, Lopez was telling me yesterday, why give away this first round? I'm going to come out and take this first round, but it doesn't look like Paez is going to sleep either. He's staying in the middle of the ring, as he should, exerting his superior boxing skill. Right now, Tony on the attack, as you can expect him to be all afternoon long. Doing half of Tyson's. He only got 1 sock on. On the other leg, he has nothing.
Jorge Paez won the IBF featherweight crown back in March of 1989 by taking a majority decision over Calvin Grove. Came from behind to do it. He put Grove down 3 times and then closed with a huge 15th round. Prior to that dramatic win, Paez noted only for his connections with his family's circus and for the tradition of breakdancing and moonwalking before and after fights.
Well, he has a strange feature. He fights as good as his opposition. When he's really facing someone good like Tony Lopez, you can expect the best out of Paez. For Lopez to commit and then counter-punching. Nice hook by Paez.
Lopez is the stronger puncher. He is a pressure fighter. Likes to have his opponent right in front of him. Paez usually that kind of opponent.
Yeah, he has no problem now. He's not going to the body as he said he would. Lopez said, I'm going straight to the body. I can't hit his head. He moves it around. He goes right to the head now and is neglecting the body. His game plan was to bull him into the ropes, roll Paez in, beat his body, and wear him out. But he has not done either one of those 2 things up to now.
Half-minute remaining in this opening round.
Paez very sharp in counter-punching, very sharp.
And both Lopez and Paez off to quicker starts than usual. Seconds, first round. from Sacramento, California, as Lopez is able to land. At the bell at the end of the first round, Tony Lopez felt he was hit late by Jorge Paez, so he went right back at him.
That's what he told us he was going to do yesterday. If he's hit after the bell, he's coming right back at him. That's nothing. That's nothing. Nothing.
That is ruled a slip.
It's a miracle he didn't do a spring after that. Tony Lopez was so aware of getting hit after the bell, he said, I am not going to take that. I'm going to hit him back no matter what.
And Paez now going to the counting.
I am amazed that he has eschewed the body. He has not gone to the body as Tony Lopez, and therefore he hasn't hit anything. He's throwing to the head, and he's missing. Getting nailed in counterpunch by Paez, who's razor sharp this afternoon.
Or this evening. Or
sometime today.
Depending where you are. Minute gone by, second round. It is scheduled for 12. At stake is the IBF junior lightweight crown of Tony Lopez, going against the IBF featherweight champion Jorge Paez.
Paez's habit of turning his head when a big punch comes makes it look like he got hit by the punch, but Tony Lopez missed it by a good 3 or 4 inches. Many times that Lopez throws for the head and misses and gets hit in counterpunch. Exactly the opposite of what he said he was going to do.
We approach 1 minute to go, second round. Lopez caught Paez off balance. You can see the legs wobble momentarily.
This guy's such an acrobat that I don't think there is such a thing as off balance for him. Just when it looks like anybody else would fall down, he recovers.
Strong left hand delivered by Paez. A bit much of a spin move, according to the referee, Robert Bird. And he settles that in a hurry.
He doesn't want any wrestling around like that on the ring. What Lopez is trying to do is make him get tired. He's much stronger than Paez, so he wants to throw him around. Referee says, not my ring.
Coming up on 10 seconds left in the second. Arena where it has been rocking. Sacramento, California, with the fight Dr. Freddie Pacheco. I'm Marv Albert. It is round 3 of a scheduled 12-rounder. Tony Lopez going against Jorge Paez. Paez, incidentally, wearing white, green, and red, the colors of Mexico. And Lopez in his usual tiger stripe trunks.
That's a great body shot by Tony Lopez, who has been neglecting his body attack. So far, it's been exactly the opposite from what was predicted. Paez has started out fast. He didn't blow those first 2 rounds. Lopez has not gone to the body, just gone kind of head hunting, and I think they've settled him down in the corner. They said, hey, let's get back to business. Let's go to the body and do our work. Also, Paez is in the middle of the ring, right where he wants to be. He is not up against the ropes where Lopez wanted him to be. It has been completely the opposite of what everybody thought was going to happen.
Chant of Tony from this crowd. Interesting pre-fight ritual. Oh, good right hand by Lopez. And Paez gives the indication that he was not hurt by that at all. Tony Lopez's mom, Rachel, goes through a pre-fight ritual. She pinches the cheeks of Tony Lopez and will tell him before the fight, now don't get hit in the face.
Mom, body shots hurt. I'd rather them hit me in the face. Lopez having his best round so far. He is having his way this round. A strong suit of Tony Lopez. He may blow 2 rounds, but don't count him out because he just keeps coming every round. And he's having a good one this time.
How did you score the first two?
I scored them both for Paez by a very squeaky narrow margin, but it's 20 to 18 on my scorecard over the first two rounds.
Scoring on the 10-point must system, handled by three judges, all from California. Good combination landed by Lopez. No standing 8-count effect. No 3 knockdown rule. The bell does not save the fighter in any round, including the final round.
Paez is cut over his right at the connection of the nose and the eyebrow of the right eye. Not big, but he is cut. Again, completely contrary to what was expected. Everybody's expecting Tony to cut up, and Tony's face looks very well right now, whereas Paez has a small neck.
Yes, Lopez has had problems in the past with cuts, which have slowed him down at times. He'll be right back. The city of Sacramento has only 12 registered professional boxers, and within the 12 are 2 world champions in Lopez and his stablemate, Laredo Garza, who won the WBA junior welterweight crown this past August. Garza, incidentally, will defend his title here in December here in Sacramento against Vinny Pazienza. Both Garza and the Tasmanian Devils are on hand at ringside.
Lopez won that last round, starting out with a good body attack and varying his attack. He's right back to winning that last one, digging into the body of the smaller, but standing right in front of you, Paez. There's no motion here, folks. This is all punching.
And the referee, Robert Bird, talking to both Lopez and Paez about the headbutts. With a record of 35-2, 25 by knockout. He's also been involved in 3 draws. The 2 defeats took place early in his career, both by decision in 6-round bouts. And Lopez at 35-2. Lopez recapturing the IBF junior lightweight title by taking a 12-round decision over John Molina, avenging that TKO loss to Molina here in Sacramento last October. Molina taking the title away, and the fans here at Arco Arena not pleased about the stoppage. Let their feelings be known by showering debris, creating that ugly scene that you saw a glimpse of earlier.
You can see the tide turn slightly now as Lopez is pursuing. Not much, but he's backing up Paez, and Paez is getting dangerously close to these ropes. Once his back touches those ropes and he lets Tony wail away at the body, then it is Lopez's fight, and Lopez is getting there.
Remaining in the 4th round.
According to what we wanted to see was Paez. What Paez wanted to see was to be in the middle of the ring and not get backed up. That's happening. The body attack of Lopez has been on track in these last 2 rounds. He's winning these rounds because he's punching much harder, and that's because he went right to the body.
Strong finish for Tony Lopez. Well, a big day of football tomorrow here on NBC. The key game in the eastern part of the country. The Giants at home for the Miami Dolphins. Dick Enberg and Bill Walsh will be there for that one. I'll be with that strange one-time linebacker and punter Paul McGuire as the Raiders take on the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Coliseum in Los Angeles.
Again, I can't think anybody better to do the Raiders than McGuire. He should have played his whole career for the Raiders.
This is round 5. Tony Lopez defending his IBF junior lightweight title against the IBF featherweight champion Jorge Paez. The feeling is, should Paez win, he would then go up against the undisputed lightweight champion Pernell Whitaker within 6 months. Lopez with no desire to fight Whitaker, we're told.
Again, the body attack driving Paez back to the ropes. Now his back is to the ropes, and that's exactly what Lopez wants. Paez is sort of taking the last 2 rounds off. He doesn't have the same excitement. He doesn't have the same counter-punching ability. Something's gone out of him, and it could be those hard body shots by Lopez. I have it dead even on my card right now, 38-38 with Lopez coming on.
The 3 judges are from the state of California. Larry Rosavita. In fact, he's the only judge that had Buster Douglas ahead of Mike Tyson. Their world title fight back in February. Dave Nelson Jr. from San Jose. Rudy Ortega out of San Francisco, the other judge. Actually a compromise decision after both camps objected to Terry Smith, who happens to hail from Sacramento.
Well, I think that it's regrettable. This fight is so good that you don't need the suggestion of impropriety. Everybody here is from California, and here is Paez from Mexico. I think they should have at least had a Mexican. And even if it gets to be a close decision, everybody will say, well, you had California. It wasn't necessary. Too great a fight.
You're saying the perception is wrong of 3 California judges.
Absolutely, and it might change the fight. Back to the fight. Paez is waking up. Now he's chasing Lopez. While he's taking a nice break, you better get back to work.
Tony Lopez, who at times has shown a cocky personality, puts the hands down. Very adventurous and dangerous. Well, that's a cue for Paez.
That's his ball game.
Idea that both Tony Lopez and Jorge Paez have enjoyed the trading of clowning antics.
Well, I think Lopez enjoyed it less because he got hit every time he clowned, whereas the other guy, it's his natural way. I think in clowning, Paez would beat him 10 rounds out of 10.
Well, Lopez's trainer, Will Edgington, was upset with Lopez for those clowning tactics. Look at the junior lightweight situation. Zuma Nelson, Brian Mitchell are the other champions.
Well, again, Edgington had said don't clown with him. Every time you clown, it's his ball game. He punches when he clowns.
It is on to round 6, scheduled for 12.
Great little exchange there. Lopez to the body and Paez to the head. Boy, that's what you call an even exchange. Neither fighter showing any respect for the other, and they're certainly willing to stand in each other's face and throw. What a wonderful inside uppercut Paez just threw.
Tony Lopez in the tiger stripe trunks, consisting of, although he may dispute this, imitation tiger skin, and keeping with his nickname, and Jorge Paez wearing the white, green, and red, the colors of Mexico.
Paez doing the leading now, and Tony trying to counterpunch. Tony's much better when he leads.
once again, the crowd chanting for Tony Lopez, who landed the left hook. Then solid right hands delivered by Paez.
Paez is raining punches from all angles. They're coming out uppercuts, looping hooks, hooks to the body. Again, Lopez starting to clown. That's like, I need a little break here. Stop. Let me clown a little bit. Almost an admission that he's taking too much here.
We've come to the end of round 6.
Motorcraft spark plug has to fight.
Welcome back to the Arco Arena, Sacramento, California, the home of the Sacramento Kings of the NBA. And it's an arena that Tony Lopez calls home as he defends his IBF Junior lightweight title. This is round 7. Marv Albert with the fight doctor, Freddie Pacheco. Jorge Paez, the IBF featherweight champion, one of the more unorthodox fighters of the world, throwing punches from all angles, exceptional balance. That's where that circus activity background has helped.
Well, right now it's a hard fight to judge, and that's going to make this final, if it goes to decision, the final decision, either hoots and howls or roars, because we've got a very close, each one has been close, depending on who is leading in the action. The last two, Paez has led in the action. Who punches the hardest? The last two, Paez has punched the hardest. And it's going back and forth between these two.
Freddie, should it go to decision, and should that decision go against Lopez, we certainly hope it is only hoots and howls.
Well, if you're in Paez's corner and you got 3 judges from California, what would you be telling your fighter? You would be saying you need a knockout or else.
I don't know how they could accept that.
I don't either.
I don't understand how they could be talked into that type of situation.
The suggestion of impropriety is what's wrong. I mean, even if the judges are as good as you can get them, they're still under a heck of a onus.
Most interesting sledgehammer-like shot thrown by Paez.
It was almost a chop when. Well, none of the judges seems to bother Jorge Paez. He is just one of those guys who's got his mind on the guy in front of him, and he doesn't worry about anything else. I don't even think he listens to his corner very much. According to his corner, they can't get him to do anything they want him to do.
Approaching a half minute to go in the 7th round. It is scheduled for 12. They got off to a furious start. It has slowed down the last couple of rounds.
But they're inside and they're hammering each other. It doesn't look like much, but they're doing a lot of damage inside. Again, the judges. Who is driving who back? Who is hammering the other hardest? Who's missing the most? Very close fight to score.
Good combination thrown by Paez. We'll be right back.
No. Castrol, the official sponsor of NBC's boxing tour.
It is on to round 8. And Freddie, we have our Paez sledgehammer cam at work here.
Yeah, he throws punches from all angles, and he doesn't care what he throws, chopping blows or what he does. I tell you, it is a close fight. I have it 66 to 67, and I can see how it could be either way, the way these guys are going. Evander Holyfield got the biggest hand I've heard in this place outside of Lopez. He is a big popular favorite here.
Evander sitting with Vinny Pazienza, who will be going up against Laredo Garza for the WBA Junior welterweight crown. That'll be here in Sacramento in December.
Oh, look at that body attack of Lopez. Lopez getting right on track. Look at that. That's where the points are built up, right there in the body. Paez gives you his flanks. You can pouch to the side all you want.
And that is Rachel Lopez in the glasses, Tony's mom.
Good, solid, connecting shots by Lopez, who goes right back down to where it pays off, the body. Now, this is the best round he's connected to the head as Tony Lopez, because he's been missing that head but hitting the body. Now he's working it down and over.
And Lopez is the harder puncher. Paez does have power, but he's not a one-punch knockout artist. Does it with combinations.
And right now he's throwing powder puff punches. Nothing on his punches. Low blows, very low blows by Lopez, and not a word from the referee, who's on the wrong side of it. Doesn't see it.
Good counter by both. Lopez with the strong right hand, and here's Paez back.
They are keying off and connecting. No end of heart on the part of both fighters.
Just under 1 minute remaining in the 8th round. Again, Paez with the unorthodox punch.
Nice countering shot by Lopez.
Excellent action round. We'll be back with round 9 after these messages.
Lopez zeroing in on a perfect punch. Watch this. Whang! Back goes the head of Paez, and Paez, not stopped, comes right back fighting. That was an action-packed round. Very good for Tony Lopez, who seems to be getting stronger as his fight goes on, and Paez getting weaker.
So we have come 8 complete. What does the fight doctor scorecard show?
I have it dead even, and 76-76. Although when you're in Sacramento, I can certainly understand it. If Lopez is ahead here, the crowd is screaming.
Uppercuts by Paez getting in. Lopez right back.
Lopez getting much stronger and much more sure of his punches than he was through those first 4 or 5 rounds when he was very tentative, trying to hit a head that just won't stand still. Right now, Paez's head is a target. He is not moving it.
Most of this bout has taken place at the center of the ring. We are so accustomed to see Paez along the ropes.
Paez, I would not be surprised to go to the ropes in the next 2 or 3 rounds, because he looks very tired now. His punches have nothing in them, and that's the kind of dogged performance that gets him into the corner.
And Paez doing a lot of covering up and saying, come on, and that's exactly what Lopez is doing. Hearing it from the crowd with 1 minute and 20 remaining in the 9th round.
Excellent combinations for Tony Lopez, who's beginning to do what he planned to do. Drive him to the ropes, drive Paez, and belabor his body. Paez no longer that target, that elusive target, now standing straight and not punching with great authority. Those were the first hard punches he threw just a second ago.
And there is obvious mutual respect between the two. You get the idea they're actually enjoying each other out there.
Well, both of them were just like young kids going to a dance yesterday. They couldn't wait to get it on, so I think they're having fun.
Some kind of fun banging each other around.
That's their profession.
Better than 15,000 on hand here at Arco Arena. It is a record crowd for the state of California in terms of gate receipts. It has been the toughest ticket in this area for many weeks.
Tony looking very sharp.
They're counting down the final seconds of round 9. 27-year-old Tony Lopez out of Sacramento, California, comes in at 35-2, 24 by knockout. He is defending his IBF junior lightweight title against the 24-year-old from Mexicali, Mexico, Jorge Paez, a one-time circus acrobat and clown, boxing's clown prince. And Paez, the IBF featherweight champ, but at stake is the title of Lopez. And this is round 10. It is scheduled for 12.
The little nick on the eye of Paez has not caused him any trouble, and there has not been even a suggestion of a cut on Tony Lopez, a surprise in both instances.
Earlier today, as the first part of a boxing doubleheader, 19-year-old undefeated featherweight, hot prospect Rafael Ruelas was able to stop Felipe de Jesus in the 7th round. Ruelas did have some difficulty with the veteran Mexican brawler de Jesus in the early going, put him down in the 3rd, and then the fight was stopped in the 7th.
Tony seems to have found the formula. He's punching harder with much more effect, and connecting more to the head of Paez. That because Paez is not moving his head as he did in the first 5 rounds, but standing straight in front of him and standing up.
Crowd reacting against the slapping attempts of Jorge Paez. This will be, if it does go the distance, a very difficult fight to score. Would you explain those punches thrown by Paez?
They're south of the border punches. They don't need explanation. Paez has got to get on track here. He's blowing round after round, and that's going to be very difficult. Here in Sacramento, all California judges and a huge crowd roaring with everything that Lopez does.
What do you have on the scorecard?
I have Lopez ahead, 86-85, as he has taken these last 3 rounds, just marching in straight order.
Good counter by Lopez. Doubling and tripling up with the left hand, but Lopez came right back. That will do it for round 10.
Today.
And the big one in the eastern section of the country tomorrow, Miami Dolphins, who have surprised folks with a running game over their first 2 contests, will be at the New Jersey Meadowlands to go up against the Giants. It is on to round 11. Marv Albert with the fight doctor. Bernie Pacheco, Jorge Paez, and the white, green, and red against Tony the Tiger Lopez, appropriately enough in the tiger stripe trunks. And last round heroics have won several fights for Paez, it should be pointed out. A meeting against Calvin Grove, The first bout against Troy Dorsey, his second fight against Louis Espinosa. In fact, Paez has said that he prefers a 15-round title distance. Takes him a while to get going, although he did start quicker than usual here today.
Well, he started very well, but he's faded under the body attack of Tony Lopez, and Tony has just gotten harder and harder as these rounds go by, and he doesn't need a big last round. He needs a big last 2 rounds. He needs round 11 and round 12 back. Tony is fighting under controlled violence.
But not much effect, although the crowd reacts.
Big points when you go to the body with 4 or 5 unanswered shots.
You have Lopez up now by 2 points.
Yeah. I think he's ahead by 2, and if some of those close rounds go the other way, which I'm sure they will in Sacramento, he's got a big lead here. Doesn't seem to have the energy, the gas, the strength to put on a very big finish against the guy that's not giving him an inch. Tony Lopez is not conceding anything. He's just there to win every round.
And much of this crowd chanting for the hometown boxer Tony Lopez. Just under 1 minute to go in the 11th round. As we head to the possibility of this bout going the distance, and for those of you familiar as to what took place back last October when a decision in the fight against John Molina went against Tony Lopez, I'm told they cut off beer sales at the start of the fight here at Arco Arena to help prevent a repetition of the mini riot that occurred.
Well, I'm thankful for that, but how about the people who brought six-packs? No good.
Final seconds of the 11th. So this one is headed for a 12th and final round, and we'll stay right here.
Give me 3 deaths back real slow. I don't want it.
In the corner of Tony Lopez, trainer Will Edgington, his dad Sal, Cutman, Norm Lockwood.
Okay, Tony, this is the final round of the fight. Okay? If he lands 2, you land 3. If he lands 3, you get in 4. But keep them hands up. That's wrong. That's wrong. Don't get careless, Tony. You're ahead. You don't get careless if you hit
Tony Lopez defending his IBF Junior Lightweight Championship.
I respect in yours too. So, and don't give him any chance.
And Jorge Paez with Nacho Huizar, his manager and babysitter, as he likes to be referred to, and 74-year-old Cutman Chuck Bodak. 12th and final round. As I mentioned earlier, Paez was trailing on points, but knocked down Calvin Grove 3 times in the 15th round to win his title. That was back in August of '88. And you get the feeling he needs a fast finish right here.
Well, he'll certainly need that miracle because he's behind, and that's about the only way he can pull it out. Paez, on the other hand, not fighting like a man desperate. He's not fighting possessed. He doesn't look like he's going after that knockout.
The only 2 losses over the course of the career of Jorge Paez took place early in his career, both by decision in 6-round bouts. 1 minute in, final round.
This round not much different from the others.
Referee Robert Bird getting between the fighters.
Tony Lopez has done a very good job and sticking to his game plan. He's ahead, and he just wants to weather this round out.
Lopez checking with his corner as we approach 1 minute to go in the bout. Arco Arena is walking. To 30 seconds remaining in the fight.
And that was the charge of the Light Brigade for Paez, who's desperate now. Good hard shot by Paez.
Final seconds of the bout. Tony Lopez and Jorge Paez go the distance. They are on their feet here in Sacramento. Tony Lopez, the IBF Junior Lightweight Champion, hoping to successfully defend against the IBF Featherweight Champ, Jorge Paez. So it will go to the scorecards. All three judges from the state of California. Back with the decision in a moment. But there has been no official announcement as of yet. The scorecards have been gathered. Tony Lopez looking to defend his IBF Junior Lightweight crown against Jorge Paez. And now we are set for the decision. Here's Jim Hall.
Dave Nelson, Larry Rosadia, Judge Rudy Ortega, all three judges scoring at 117-111. Winner by unanimous decision. And still the IBF Junior Lightweight Champion of the world, Tony the Tiger Lopez.
Sacramento, 117-111 the scores on all three scorecards. Tony Lopez successfully defending his IBF Junior Lightweight crown by decision against Jorge Paez. Let's go to the fight, doctor.
That body attack was absent in those first rounds, but then you went to it. Do you think that turned the tide?
I think so. Kind of slowed him down, and I forgot what round it was, but I was talking to Will, and I told him he stopped punching. He punched pretty hard. Punched pretty good for a featherweight coming up to a junior lightweight. I just wanted to take my time, and if I couldn't take him out, just outpoint him. So.
Do you think you got him out of his clowning?
A little bit, you know. Did a little bit myself, you know, just only do it when he wasn't hitting so hard anymore, so.
You look like you were having a good time, though.
Oh, I was. I had a good time this fight. This next thing that Will told me to do, and I did it.
Where do you go from here? Do you think Pernell Whitaker's in your future?
It's up to Will. Whatever Will says, I go.
All right, back to Marv Albert at ringside.
All right, Ferdy, Tony Lopez now considering what is next. We were told before the fight that if Paez was able to defeat Lopez, he would go against the undisputed lightweight champion Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker. But the feeling is that Lopez was looking in other directions. But as he said, it's up to his trainer Will Edgington. Terrific fight between Jorge Paez and Tony Lopez, an anticipated matchup for many months, and Jorge is alongside the fight doctor.
Jorge, ¿crees que los ponches al cuerpo te debilitaron mucho?
No, lo que pasa es que me ganó y ni modo, quiero
I asked him if the punches to the body weakened him. He said no, that he just lost the fight. Y no tuviste chance de hacer tu pelea normal. ¿Por qué no?
No se prestó. Yo pensaba que si me iba a parar, pero no me paró.
I asked him, did he fight his normal game plan? Did he fight what he wanted to? He said no. He thought was going to stop and fight, but he didn't stop and fight, and he just beat him using a better game plan. ¿De aquí qué? ¿Vas a volver al boxeo o vas a volver al circo?
No sé decirlo, a lo mejor me retiro ya.
I asked him, is it back to the circus or is it back to boxing? He said he doesn't know. He's got to go home and think about it. So from a distraught Jorge Paez, we return to Marv.
All right, Ferdy, Jorge Paez with only his third loss in 41 professional bouts, losing to Tony Lopez. A reminder, tonight you will see a full night of season premieres here on NBC, starting with Parenthood, followed by Working It Out, starring Jane Curtin and Stephen Collins, then The Golden Girls, Empty Nest, Carol and Company, featuring Carol Burnett and American Dreamer. Marv Albert.